Hi, this is Julien Stoutt, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, and world record powerlifter, here to help you be the best you. Now, one of the things that I have come to realize over time of teaching is that far too many of our young people are struggling with decisions. The main thing is because we're not leading them into the best possible outcomes for them. For instance, when we have people who are struggling with their everyday life, deciding to go into the negative rather than the positive, what's going on is that it's a lack of a reinforcement of positive behavior. And all they see is the positive outcomes of their negative behavior, and they are willing to suffer the consequences for their actions of being negative because they feel that the negative consequence is not as detrimental to their decision to be superior to others, so to speak, right? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the main reason why I'm bringing this up is because of lack of training and lack of decision. So training and decision. When we do not train, we can't make decisions in the moment that we are finding ourselves in. For instance, how many times has an athlete practiced a move so that way when they're in the situation, they don't even have to think anymore. They just do it. They just do it automatically. So right now, what the problem is that we do end up training in the negative. So much so that we train in the negative so much that we just do it without thinking. And the problem is that doing without thinking causes great harm to not only the person that's doing it, but to other people that may be involved, because we may not be able to see so far out that the consequences for our actions. It goes into health, it goes into everyday life. Your health is mainly the focus here, but it ties into your everyday life. So for instance, if your go-to move is constantly going to the candy, going to the soda, going to the fast food, then you're not training yourself to do the right things and eat better. And it is until severe consequences happen that you start making better decisions, so that once we get to that position, it's just you have no other option. And why is it that we have to reach the place of no option in order to choose the best option? It doesn't make any sense to me. It baffles me, it boggles my mind, because you have an option that is showing you a positive result. It's not like there's no proof that eating this way and exercising this way grants you nothing. There's no positive outcomes as a result of what it is that we're doing. The truth is, it's clearly evident. Exercise, proper dieting always benefits you in the long run than it does even in the immediate. You may not see the results right away. I guarantee you won't. It's not going to happen in 2 days. It's not going to happen in 10 days. Shoot, it's not even going to happen in 30 days, depending on the severity of your issues. But if you stick with it and do it day by day, even if you miss a day, but you go and commit yourself right back to it again, you will find that you will put yourself in a far better position in the future than you would be if you just chose to do nothing but sit on your butt and do just that. Our children have no idea what training is and what decision is. Training, for instance, a lot of our kids are training because they play Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, NBA 2K, Madden. They play all these games and they're training their synapses to fire at a high rate and to get a dopamine trigger at all times. So the truth is, your children are addicted to the things that they do. However, on the flip side, if you train your children Make them do what they're supposed to do. Make them do it. There's no getting around it. You got to make them do it. The way I make my clients do it is they pay me. I don't have to make somebody do something because number one, they're adults, and number two, they pay me. I leverage your payment to get you to the end result. I don't have to yell, scream, chastise and discipline you. Your discipline is in your money. Your discipline is in your payment. But with children and with young adults, the discipline is in you maintaining focus. And it's in you maintaining that routine over and over and over and over and over again until they can do it without thinking. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I fell victim to this. Obviously I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. No human being is perfect. But the deal is that far too many times I found myself not being disciplined in what it is that I'm supposed to do. And as a result, I found myself on the back end of a bad result. You don't want to be on the back end of a bad result. You'd rather be on the front end of a bad result because at least you can see the bad result coming. But when you're on the back end, you're just suffering the consequences of the decisions made, even though you're the one who made the decision. Or in my case, I'm the one who made the decision. So now more than ever, we have an opportunity to hit the reset button. We have an opportunity to discipline ourselves and discipline our children to be better people. Yes, they're a lot more high-minded than we were when we were kids. But at the same time, when you go too far into the mind, your body suffers. And when the body does not respond to what the mind is telling it, or when the body just follows what the mind tells it, then this is where troubles begin, because there has to be a symbiotic relationship between the mind and the body. Your body must do what the mind tells it, but at the same time, the body must be able to do things without the thought of the mind. You have to be able to do both. You have to know what's going on, and you have to also know that this is what you're supposed to do based on the level of training that you've received. So my advice to you is to start very young with your children. Get off these cell phones. Don't give your child a cell phone. Give them physical things to do. The cell phone things will come later because yes, they are going to need technology in the future. Absolutely 100%. But the problem is that they lack physical capabilities. There's too many children now who denounce physical activity and think that it's okay. And then when people who are physical get a more desired result for their physicality, the high-minded child then starts to become depressed and it starts to become cynical about life. And as a result, those children cannot seem to grasp the concept of needing to be in shape. They think that the way they are is the way they're supposed to be. And it might be true because they might be physically where they're supposed to be, but I'm speaking on the ones who may not be. And the ones that may not be are still not being active. They abhor physicality. They avoid it like the plague. They dance around it and they do all that they can to avoid it. I've seen it far too many times when I teach. I see it far too many times in the gym. I see it far too many times on the fields of play that some children are adverse to physical activity. And we are in a society now where physical activity is paramount because a lot of our jobs are no longer physical. So as a result, I think we need to put ourselves in a position that we can now take things a lot more seriously so that you and your children can be the best you and themselves. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Have a nice day. Be the best you. And I'm Stoutt.